Live from the MC. Casual Supremacy, we are back. What a time. What a time to be alive, my friends. I believe that we have entered officially into Civil War II. Listen,
Oh, you've been tuned into LA.
I think we got to talk about the whole thing. This is really what's happening. This is happening. You see, this is happening. This is happening right now.
Guys, if this is your first time tuning into Casual Supremacy, go review our previous episodes.
We've been talking about this. We've been on top of
When
all this stuff.
first brought it up, he said we might be on the verge of civil war. My eyes lit up. I could not believe what he was saying.
Hold the tape up. Yes, that was real, and it is really happening.
And it's happening.
And I'm going to say this. You know what really started this was a breakup, okay? So on June 5th, this was Thursday, it was a breakup. Elon and Trump. We saw Elon, the head of Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. It turns out they didn't really find much, and they probably have to give a bunch of those people their jobs back and all that stuff. He ends up at the White House. He has a black eye. He won't put up any makeup. And Trump talks about it. He goes, he thought it was weird that Elon, but the day before, it was like a whole sequence of events. And so the next
got roughed up.
Did you see Elon? Elon's in the White House. He gave him the key. It was he's in the Oval Office. But Elon
got roughed up by the Secret Service.
He got roughed up by the secretary, one of those secretaries. I think it came out that he checked him, and then the dude punched him in the face. It was real, maybe the Treasury Secretary, one of these secretaries in the West Wing, and then all of a sudden he gets the key and the send off, and then the next day, Elon is just talking trash, and he's like, "Yo, your big bill, your big beautiful bill sucks. You're gonna, he basically gave him no guarantees. He gave no guarantees for the electric vehicles, which is really what he wanted. So all of a sudden, they're like, oh, look, I love him and he loves me and I love him and I love. But then it wasn't like that. Then all of a sudden they're talking back to each other, and Elon tweets that, hey, the president, by the way, is a pedo and he's in the Epstein files. He said, listen, he said these are the Epstein files, whatever it is. And my point is, the Republicans for a long time before Trump came in, that's all they talked about. It's all they talked about. They all the Epstein and kill himself. You forget. That's what I think people forget. The months and the years that was a thing while Biden was around. And then they had the binders and the whole thing. And then what happened? And then Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, he goes on Joe Rogan, I think this last week or the week before. And he's like, nothing to see here. He's like, he killed himself. There's no videos. There's no nothing. The head of the FBI, the dude, they had binders. They made this whole show. And then he gets on, like you're here talking, and he goes, nah, there's nothing there.
Straight face.
So it's come on, you guys are just you guys, I don't know what to say, but it's it's kind of this clown show. But the crazy thing is, instead of, because he could have shown people the file.
Yes.
And said, no, I'm not, and could have cleared his name. Instead, what did he do? He invades Los Angeles. Think about it, yo. This is not, listen, and Clinton did this too. I forgot that he went to Rwanda or something. He got into some big political scandal. United States presidents do this all the time, where they get into a scandal and they just start bombing. They're like, oh, no, me. Yeah. What am I talking about? Look, I got
pay attention to this.
Yes, pay attention to this. And then all of a sudden, the first time that the National Guard, that was the first step, right? That was the first time in 60 years that a president had sent in troops to a state without the governor's permission. The governor's like, nah, we're good. We got this. It's fine. Now, listen, I lived in LA for about 4 years. And so you got to understand, LA is not like New York City. LA is a bunch of suburbs. So people tell you oh, this thing's most of LA
is way bigger.
It's just way bigger. You have no idea, the actual size. If you ever know, you don't leave neighborhoods in LA. If you're in Hollywood, you don't visit people in Santa Monica or Venice. I lived in LA and I was in 2 neighborhoods, Brentwood, Venice, and Santa Monica. That's about it. Hollywood, I went there one time. I saw the Hollywood Walk of Fame. By the way, that place is doo-doo. It's just it's a terrible, ugly place. Whoever that is in Hollywood. But I'm just saying, a lot of crazy things happening right now. LA is going to be fine. They are using this as this.
Are they? It looks ugly,
It
man.
looks ugly. But I'm just saying that. Listen, you're seeing some videos are coming out. I'm on X. I'm watching, the own LAPD smashing their own cars. There's videos of them. They're finding cars. They're blowing cars up. I'm just saying that they're going to use this opportunity to use this against us. Like, oh, we're fighting again, man. I'm just saying we're Hispanics. They're going after the Mexicans right now. California was Mexico.
That is a little Mexico over there.
That's not even a little Mexico. That was Mexico until, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're asking these people, like, all of a sudden, New York City, the NYPD, they came and they took some tourist, and they thought she was, an illegal, and they, she was here on vacation. They held her for 8 hours. So I'm just saying, ICE has become like this, like they're taking people who aren't even like who should be in this country, who've already, who've done their time or they're documented, but like deporting somebody is a process. And right now what they're doing is just grabbing people in the streets. That's like Gestapo. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's kidnapping. That's not, that's not what you think it is. It's not like that. Like, the deportation is a process, and these people, and they're going to, like, where people work. Like, that's where they're finding people, kids' graduations, and
schools, churches.
That's where they're getting these people, and they're doing it in, like, liberal cities. You know what I'm saying? You know where the most Mexicans? Texas. Guess where they're not doing these raids? They're not doing this in Texas right now. They're doing this in Los Angeles. They're going to New York. This is where they want. LA now.
Chicago.
Oh yeah. Trump is about to have
major
cities. Trump is about to have his June 14th. That's a couple days from now. And hopefully it's set out. But he's about to have his parade, and he basically told everyone, like, yo, if you try to protest my June 14th, that's his birthday. And my godfather Kelo, he's so I'm just saying June 14th is his birthday. He's having tanks like King Jong, like the Dick, he's about to do the whole thing. And he basically warned everyone, if you come to protest my parade, I'm gonna, like, hurt you. Like, he wrote that today. He was like, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be bad for you. And yeah, man, I'll just say I will not be protesting nobody's parade. I don't play that. I tell people, listen, unless I have, like, gonna go fully armed, I'm not going out there to be like someone with cops and, like, the sticks and horses. I see these people getting.
Where's the parade being held?
In DC, he's doing
okay.
DC. Listen, so he's, and he sent out the Marines. Listen, and honestly, that's the biggest part of this story that people aren't really thinking about. Like, there's two big parts of this story that I want to talk about, but one big part is the Marines. Okay, those dudes are from, like, California. Everyone's like, oh, they're not gonna like if you're invoking the Marines, like, you're invoking, like, a different level of violence. Yes. Like, these dudes are, like, people are like, oh, maybe they won't do what you say you think they're gonna do. I was like, do you understand who these people are and what they're doing, and they're hiding, and now they want LA, and then most of them follow Trump. And I'm just saying that, like, you're blurring this line, and then turning, like, the National Guard into a federal force.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Okay, and people aren't seeing, like, they're knocking down all these little things, and people are just like, you can't even keep up. You're like, oh my God. And it's just this tidal wave, and people are going to keep pushing back, and they're going to want people to push back, and they want you outside. And I'm just saying, if you're going to be outside, do it smart. Don't let them corner you. And, like, I don't know if you saw, like, I forgot, I think in Hong Kong, they were fighting, like, you have to learn how to, like, protest. I'm, like, saying I'm too old for that stuff. Yeah. But these young kids, I'm not going to fight you. I tell you, people, like, you don't want to use a cone, or, stop the tear gas, whatever people have to do. I feel bad, especially a country like ours that was built on immigrants and slavery. I think is crazy that we're now, if you saw the German chancellor, he came to see Trump, and he came to and you saw what he had in his hand when he gave Trump. No. He gave Trump his grandfather's birth certificate from Germany, and he framed it. And people don't realize how big of a flex that was. He's like, yo, you are like a second generation immigrant. Frederick Trump. He gave him framed. This was like a week ago. This was last week in the Oval Office. He gave him, as a joke, like on a real German, like, sly little way, hey, I have a gift for you. And it's your father's birth certificate that he got for like $1. And he framed it and was like, wow. Yeah, I know that you don't like immigrants, but by the way, you're not far from one too. So don't be casual about the supremacy, my friends.
Bigger play.
The bigger play.
There's a bigger play here. There always is.
I'm pretty sure he's wearing a catheter too. Trumpy looks like, I don't know, man. He looks like he's wearing like one of those catheters, like, like, you can't, like, you can see the bag and the thing, like, people are showing it. I'm just saying, everyone was on top of Biden for kind of just getting too old and, like, falling apart. But I'm just saying that, like, if you listen to Trump, he's just like not all there, and that's all I'm saying is that
The National Guard is one thing,
it's crazy.
but then you're calling 700 Marines.
Marines, yeah,
you don't know how Marines train.
And not only that, but you start with 700, and it's just a chink. Then it'll be 1,500. Who just keep playing this game. And the thing is that as more people go and more Marines, as it keeps escalating, it's going to keep escalating.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the next week it's going to be, we're sending on the 1,500. You know, it's going to be like by the time you look at it. But I will say this: LA is a big place, and even 700 Marines, like you might protect like one little garrison, but I'm just saying, like, no matter what, the people outnumber. But I'm just saying that if you're going to be dealing with those people, if you're in California and you decide you're going to protest and you're going to go up, understand those people are not going to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, prepare for the worst. They're like that is not going to be a good thing. But I think that is kind of what they're setting up. And a lot of it just has to do with him probably being a pedo.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, what's the bigger play here?
There's definitely that. And you know what? I will say this. Another second thing we have to talk about is the big, beautiful bill. And one thing that they're trying to do is put a lot of money into this company called Palantir, or I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But basically, they're trying to start a national database for Americans, okay? And Palantir, and it's basically, I mean, it's there's all these things. It's just, of all Americans, they're going to create a database. So they have all of you, all of us, in their computer, filed, locked away. This should be scary. That big, beautiful bill.
Isn't that what Social Security is?
What do you mean?
Everybody on a file.
I mean, I guess so, but like Social Security is only, but it's not like a file where they have you have a number. Yeah, your Social Security is basically like your, like you come into the world, but it's not really a registry. But I guess they're just things in there. They're putting a lot more money into ICE. ICE is becoming a bigger problem if you're Hispanic. We live in New York City, so you got to understand is that we're an easy target to be next for this. Because LA is one thing, New York not as much, because like I said, when we do things here in New York, it's a much smaller place. Like you try to come into Manhattan with like it's just like you're gonna cause a much bigger ruckus than like just picking your spots in LA. And if you could think about how spread out it is, like I saw I Paramount, California, I saw one big protest. Like I never even heard of it. I lived there for 4 years. I had never even heard of Paramount, California. So just understand there's definitely a bigger play. They're passing things on. People are saying they're going to try to impeach Trump and they want to put JD Vance in and for him to be the guy.
They're going to try again.
No, no. I think people are getting tired of Trump even within his own inner circle. And I think that they would be better off, or they would be under someone like JD Vance, Stephen Milner, like my point is that Trump is like hard to control.
There's no going back now.
There isn't, but if you get rid of him, think about it. It just goes to the number 2. And JD Vance, the VP, whatever, he's younger than I am. JD Vance would easily, I'm just saying, like, he'd be a much more controllable asset. He doesn't have all these different things. They could catch him, Trump on, like, dude, he's a convicted 34 felonies, so it is what it is. We'll see what's going on. I've heard a lot of things, tariffs and taco. I don't know if taco, Trump always chickens out. It is,
tariffs and tacos.
There's a lot, it's crazy. It's just like, you could go on and on and on. We haven't done an episode in a while, but like, I told you, I was like, listen, this episode's gonna be crazy. We got there's so much going on. And yeah, it's particularly, we have to talk about Trump. We have to talk about the ICE raids. We have to talk about what's going on in Los Angeles and talk about how it could very, very easily be something that happens here. So stay tuned, and take care of each other, because honestly, it's all we have. And, I don't know, most people here are from this community. Take care of each other, love each other. Be casual, be supreme. I'm with you.
Live from the MC.